Hello YouTube world, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Today I am working on my reading journal entry for a book that I'm very excited to be reviewing. Seoulmates by Susan Lee was published in September 2022, and to provide some background context, the main character Hannah Cho lives in San Diego, California and had a childhood best friend named Jacob Kim. Jacob's family had some issues and they ended up suddenly moving to South Korea. While there, Jacob becomes a super famous K-drama star. And meanwhile, Hannah has had to navigate high school without her best friend, who is essentially now dead to her. So the book starts out a few years after Jacob has moved away. Hannah now doesn't understand why Korean culture has become so popular and is almost resentful of the fact that K-dramas and K-pop are a part of mainstream media. To make matters worse, her boyfriend breaks up with her because he's super into K-pop and K-dramas and she's not. Switching over to Korea, we see Jacob struggling to deal with the pressure and expectations that come with being a Korean celebrity, and he decides he needs a vacation. So he and his family fly back to San Diego for the summer and end up staying at Hannah's family's house. So what can we expect when your childhood best friend turned enemy comes to live with you and he just happens to represent the thing that broke up you and your ex-boyfriend? You guessed it, drama that ultimately results in love. So for me, Seoulmates is another fun, lighthearted book that is easy to read and makes you feel all warm and cozy inside. It's YA, so it teeters on the edge of childish and cringy, but the incorporation of modern Korean culture makes this a super refreshing book to read. I think many Asian Americans can empathize with Hannah's feelings about how unfair it is that now all of a sudden the world loves Korean culture. Because before Koreans were cool, they were made fun of. And it definitely still happens today where tons of minorities are physically and emotionally beaten into conforming to a Western culture. But only now that the world deems K-pop and K-dramas cool, Koreans can celebrate and proudly show off their culture. So, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely great that people are more accepting of other cultures now, but it just feels a bit unfair. But I digress. Anyway, overall, I really loved this book. It's a great summer read, and I also really loved how Hannah and Jacob really take care of each other. Like, it wasn't a one-sided man protect woman story. Both Hannah and Jacob are dealing with issues, and they help each other through them because ultimately they're best friends. So I gave this an overall 5 out of 5 stars, and I gave Jacob a book boyfriend rating of 4 out of 5 stars. While Jacob is great, he is still young and a bit immature, so understandably he doesn't always make the best decisions. Also, one thing I think this book could have done better on was to better describe the struggle Jacob had to face when choosing between his career and his heart. Like, it comes up multiple times, but I don't feel like he really dealt with the choice. He kind of just went along with what was going on around him or what people told him to do and feel. I don't know, again, he's a kid, so maybe it was meant to show how he isn't really ready to make these big life-altering decisions, but again, that just supports my decision to give him 4 out of 5 stars. But overall, the book is great, so I stand by the 5 out of 5 star rating. Okay, so on to my reading journal entry. I drew a lifeguard's flotation device thing because Hannah goes to a lifeguard camp with her ex-boyfriend during the summer. I drew the South Korean flag and the Korean finger heart symbol to represent the Korean culture themes throughout this book. And I drew Legos and a burrito to represent the adventures Hannah and Jacob go on throughout the book. One of the trips was to Legoland, and another was a quest to find the best burrito in Southern California. Oh, and I also drew a sun and waves to fill up the space, and also to further emphasize the summer theme. The quote I decided to include is from Hannah's sister Helen Cho in chapter 14, where she says, When you love someone, you make it work. You make whatever comes your way work. When someone's worth it, even distance is manageable. So true, Helen, so true. No relationship is perfect. You're never going to be happy all the time, and you're never going to agree all the time. There will always be many hardships along the way, but if it's love and you're committed to each other, then you make it work. You don't give up, and you work together to find a solution. At least that's my view on relationships. But anyway, let me know if you agree with my review in the comment section below, and let me know what you think of my reading journal. You can see more of my other reading journal entries before this one on my Instagram page at Lauren_can_, which as always is linked in the description below. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate it so much if you could like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my future book reviews. Alright, bye! Okay, so here is some bonus content for those of you who made it to the end of this video. I actually got to go to the Seoulmates book launch event in New York City, where Susan and Rachel Lynn Solomon were co-hosting the book launch event. And at the event, we were able to purchase the book, and Susan actually autographed these books. So you can see it was personalized to myself, and this book is the first book that I've been to a book launch event for, and so it's the first book that I have signed by the author, so this is so special to me. And the book launch event was actually pretty cool because there were some little freebies as well. So they gave us these cute Polaroid pictures that are actually stickers. You can see that these are images from the book, or kind of like what we would imagine the characters in the book to look like. These are so cute. And it also came with a bookmark that says, "There's nothing like falling in love with your best friend." And they also gave us these black fanny packs or belt bags with a pin on it that says Seoulmates. I use this bag almost every day now when I go out. I had no idea how convenient these bags were when you kind of like sling it across your chest. It's actually so much more convenient than a purse on your side. It's very fashionable, maybe a few years ago, but I am just getting into these now, and this was honestly the best gift I could have ever gotten. Best idea ever. Thank you so much, Susan.